Hi, I'm Jessica Woll, attorney and the author of The Wise Divorce. Welcome to my YouTube channel, The Wise Divorce. Today we're going to talk about what happens when you actually make it through to the other side of your divorce. Your divorce is finalized. So now what should you do? Well, I recommend 6 tips that are easy to follow once you've actually gotten to the other side of this process, the dust has settled, and you are now officially a divorced person. So you need to be nice to yourself, right? First thing to do to be nice to yourself is to let go of anger. Now, during the divorce process, I'm sure there are many times that you were angry at people that let you down, maybe angry at the court systems, maybe even angry at your attorney, your kids, your family, your sister, your best friend. A lot of emotions are running high during the process. So now you know that it's over with, that you know what your settlement looks like. If you have minor children, you know what a parenting plan looks like for you and your ex-spouse to adhere to and follow for the benefit of your children. You know what property you can rely on, where you're going to be living, that kind of thing. So take a deep breath. Just give yourself time to breathe. Just allow yourself to let go. Let go. Just let go. Hopefully during this process, you've had some weeding experiences, meaning like you got to garden in your garden of life and say, these friends I'm weeding out because they haven't really been there for me. So again, I think divorce is a great weeder. It shows us who we don't want in our life anymore for this next chapter. It's a very good time to get rid of toxic people in your life. They don't serve you anymore. I mean, granted, nobody can be perfect, and you do have to continue to co-parent with an ex at this point, and you're going to have that person around. But there are people that maybe just got a little too much benefit out of your unhappiness, and they showed their face. They showed you who they were. When people show you who they are, what do we say? Believe them. So there you go. I think you need to let go of your anger. Now, you also need to give yourself a chance to grieve. Grieving after a divorce is final is different than the grieving process that goes on during a divorce. During a divorce, there's so much fear of the unknown. You really don't know what a final settlement's going to look like, what's going to happen with your kids ultimately with certainty. Once you have the certainty of your divorce and you are now a divorced person, you can grieve. You have that chance to just process what you've gone through in a very different way than when you're in the process. So absolutely give yourself the chance to grieve. You also need to make your happiness a priority at this point. You've done the hard work. So now what new activity or event or thing or life skill would you like to obtain that you didn't really have time to do before? Start off with this, filling in this sentence. I'm happiest when blank. What does that blank look like? Do you want to learn another language? Do you want to volunteer? Do you want to get out of a job that doesn't serve you? Do you want to spend more time with your kids? Really give yourself a chance to figure out what's going to make you happy and make that a priority. And try something new for at least 6 months until it becomes a habit. We've talked about that on this channel before, about trying new things for a 60-day period and seeing what the end result is after, giving it some time. Now I would say whatever you choose, give it at least 6 months, maybe a new exercise routine, but give yourself a lot of grace while you do it because your health and happiness have to be a priority too. So make sure that they are, and be really kind to yourself during this period and give yourself a pat on the back for going through a difficult life experience. I mean, divorce is up there in the most challenging things one can do in a life. It's up there with, the death, because basically you're grieving the death of a marriage, even though that person is still walking around maybe next to you. So, give yourself a lot of grace for that. And always be a role model for your kids. That's very important here. They're watching. They're watching you post-divorce. They want to see how you interact with their mom or their dad. They want to see how you explain what happened to you, to the community at large, to your close friends and family. They're watching. Be a role model. Keep your personal business personal. It doesn't need to be shared with the community. And hopefully at this point you've been able to see who you need to cut out of your life too. And that's going to benefit your kids. So while you're being a role model for your kids, you also just need to be a role model in general, because you have a choice on how you act once you're divorced as a divorced person. You can't control the actions of other people, but we know you can control the actions of yourself. So do it with dignity and respect. Respect for your family, your ex who brought you children, your children, of course, number one, and for yourself, because you deserve that. And I hope that these tips will help you create the next best chapter in your life. And I wish you well. Thanks for watching me on The Wise Divorce.